This is an R Media podcast. This episode is brought to you in partnership with a brand I truly love and live with, Kaboodle Kitchen.
We talk a lot about sport, we talk a lot about other things, but to have 4 days of culture where artists are celebrating, a lot of the artists say, like, this is our art party for the year.
How much do you think people should spend on art?
Oh, how much have you got? What they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
I think you can buy some really beautiful art and it doesn't need to break the bank. I think you can start small. Once you sort of start, you get the bug.
I'm Elle Lovelock, Editor-in-Chief of Home Beautiful. Welcome to The Edit, where we bring you into beautiful homes with the people who create them. Today I'm chatting with Georgia Huestis, who is the Director of the Affordable Art Fair here in Australia. We catch up at least a couple of times a year when we host a breakfast at the fair together, but today we're swapping roles and it's my turn to ask the questions. From brokering high-value purchases in London and New York to discovering emerging artists back home, Georgia has experienced both ends of the art world. And what I love is she now makes art attainable for everyone, regardless of budget, knowledge, or style. The advice she shares in this conversation will give you the confidence to find art you absolutely love and the know-how to display it. Georgia, welcome to The Edit. We have been having such a giggle already. I think it's going to be one of those chats.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to this one.
And normally the roles are reversed. So usually when we are together at the Affordable Art Fair, you're the one interviewing me.
Exactly. I'm used to being on the other side, so it's your turn now. But I think I'd still love to ask a few questions as well.
Good. I like questions.
Yeah.
Fashion, I guess you could say it's in your blood.
Both of my grandmothers were fashion designers.
Yeah.
So I did grow up from an early age just surrounded by that sort of conversation.
Yeah.
And my dress-up cupboard was all dresses from, like, the Melbourne Cup fashions on the fields.
Really?
So one of my grandmothers, she was from New York.
Yeah.
She was a shoe designer, and she came across to Australia, and I don't think she found it that exciting. So it was sort of her job to make it exciting. And then my dad says, "Oh, you're lucky your life is not like." He was mixing drinks when he was 10, and he was hosting cocktail parties. And my grandma was quite a character. But then my other grandma, she was the head designer for Kaiser.
Oh, yeah.
And so lingerie.
Yes.
And I think when that was a brand for me growing up, it was the sort of the Brazilian underwear. And she said that was not what I was designing in my day. She had more respectable sort of silk night dresses. But I think they got on very well, and that was just a really nice, a special childhood growing up with creative women in my life.
What were your parents like, and what was your childhood home like?
Oh, like artistic chaos with piles of things. I think my mum was a prep and art teacher. So every day after school was just wads of paper, the right black pen that didn't run, and then like 4 or 5 jars of ink, different colours. So you'd do your drawing in pencil. Yeah. When it was deemed good enough, you could do the outline. And then we would just be painting, and then every artwork you did went up on the wall.
Oh,
and
really?
So people would come to our house and they'd say, "Can we go into the craft room?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought they might play with me." But my mum would run these amazing sort of like workshops in the home. And I think I try and do that now with our children, is put their artwork up on the wall, because you feel quite proud when or reminded of moments when they're up on the wall. But it was, floor to ceiling and very creative. And then Dad's an accountant, so he was sort of, is quite measured.
Gosh.
And I think that's why I love the art fair, because I'm running an art fair, I'm working with artists, I'm being creative, and that's really my great passion. But then I love the commercial reality of helping artists be successful. So, that balance. Good
So
combo.
you were surrounded by your own art and other art growing up?
Yeah, I think so. Mum paints a lot, so it would always be, one wall where she'd be, doing her art, swapping it in, and a lot of moving around of art, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think that shaped what you do now?
Oh, absolutely. I always knew it had to be visual.
Yeah.
And that's what excites me. And it was, I always had like those big black kind of art folios.
Yes,
and everywhere I went, I was, collecting postcards, and it wasn't, life wasn't digital, so you couldn't screenshot it or gather it. So it's always that sort of pasting and gathering and memories and books. And
do you still have any of those?
I do, and they felt better at the time. But it is nice when you look back on them and you're like, oh, I really remember that time, like that, or that exhibition. And when I was in London recently, I went to the National Gallery, and there was this postcard that I'd gathered years and years ago, and I saw the painting of it, and it was just this really special moment because I'd held that postcard for so long. But I just bought it in the museum gift shop. I'd never actually seen the painting, but I loved the postcard enough to buy it. So then to see the real painting maybe, 10 years later, I was like, oh.
That's something I love about the way you think and the way you work is you really bridge the high end or even the priceless art in some cases with art that is, affordable.
Affordable, yeah, and within reach.
Exactly.
But made by the hand of an artist and artists start everywhere.
Yeah.
Every work has its own charm, and who knows where that artwork will live or go. And I think, I was just saying 2 days ago, I found an artwork on Marketplace, and I'm a real treasure. Like I'm a trawler. And I saw this work and I thought, reminds me of a work that my grandma had in her kitchen. And I called up Mum. I said, Mum, where did that work go? And she said, I don't know. And so, but next thing you know, I was out there at this man's house in his apartment, and he was telling me about it's still in its original frame, but it was this ceramic hand glazed work by an artist who was born in the 30s. And that was, I don't even know where I've gone with that story, but just sort of trawling for art. I don't even know what was the question that you asked me.
That's what's so wonderful about these
but I mean that's sort of.
we don't know where they'll go.
A work being affordable, and then I looked up this work and I thought, oh gosh, if I'd gone and bought that at Leonard Joel, I would have paid over $1,000. And so it's that I haven't bought it for the value of it, and I've kind of loved it. I've turned it around, and I've thought, oh wow, that. This artist has been appreciated by many others, but I've bought it because it reminds me of my grandmother.
That's such a wonderful thing about shopping through Marketplace or secondhand shops, and when you don't know the provenance of an object,
and
it's liberating.
Stories. It is, and you've bought it just because you love it. And I think many of the artists at our fairs, they've started somewhere, and I was thinking to myself, I think scouting out these artworks is so. Sometimes they lose these stories, but you can give an artwork a new life very easily. And I know it's in the original frame, but it's in tatters and it's a very dark frame, and I know I'm going to reframe it. And
I was going to ask about that. How do you feel about reframing art?
I have some works that I would never reframe because I think the frame really suits, and it's of the period, and I can make it work in my home.
Yeah.
This work, I know it's just the frame's not much longer for this world, you know, and the back of it, the paper's all kind of mottled, and it's not secure, And I've already hung it in my house, but it's above the dog bed, and then I thought, what if it fell on the dog? So I think it needs a new life. But then also I've got some, older style paintings from family members that were in the sort of gold frames that were probably from the shop, and so I've put them in like a deep white box frame, and suddenly they look really fresh, but they look more important because they've got this depth to them, and they're actually just like on a little canvas board that you can get at any art shop. But if you give it a bit of depth, that looks really, and you can do that with kids' works as well. You just give them like a canvas board, give it a frame, and how special. And then you keep it forever. That
is so good. So what do you need? You need a canvas board, and you put the art on the canvas board?
Yeah, you just paint. I mean, my grandmother used to paint on them in her nursing home. It's like those just flat boards that you can probably buy in a pack of 6 or something. Yeah. And then not all of them are going to be a masterpiece, so you choose the one that you like, and then you can get it framed, or you can be doing it in the pre-framed canvases as well, which are more available now. I think art supplies are
absolutely. And then a box frame.
I like a box frame, kind of like what's behind you, just giving it a bit of depth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we see a lot of pine frames at the moment, but I sometimes, I liked the white frame. I think it made it feel fresh.
Take me back to the earlier years of your career. What sort of work did you do?
Well, I started out at Deutscher and Hackett, so an auction house. So I was managing the gallery there in Melbourne, but I'd come up to Sydney and then I was phone bidding and I was putting enormous sales through on credit cards and researching and writing essays. So I think it tied in with my art history degree, which I know you've done an art history degree.
Yeah.
So I loved that. That felt like the romance of, working in a big arts organisation and being with very precious artwork. And I loved that because people would bring in the artworks that they were ready to sell or have valued, but they would bring in a story and they would tell you about that it had come through their family or they didn't know much about it. And sometimes you'd say, oh, unfortunately, it's a print. Or, or sometimes you'd say, wow, that's very valuable.
It's like Antiques Roadshow.
It was, Antiques Roadshow just on Commercial Road. Like it was really special and it was a very human interaction. And because, you'd have people coming in who were buying and selling as a profession, but you'd have a lot of regular people coming in who'd inherited something and it had a story, and then you need time to talk about those stories for them to perhaps part with those works or give them the next chapter, because I think artworks have a life beyond the first owner. It's about connection. Yeah. And I think, and so you asked me what I was, so I started off at the auction house.
That's right, back to you.
No, but in terms of connection, so I went from quite a commercial finance, like it was, high value paintings that I was sort of, sitting with and loving, and like Chris Deutscher has the most beautiful art library and it would be my job to make sure it was all in the right order, and like that was charming. I adored it and I learnt so much. And then I ended up moving to London and working for a gallery there and stayed there a long time, and we had a gallery in New York as well. So I was travelling between the two cities running. There were 4 galleries, but we did art fairs all year round. And so I was just travelling to different art fairs and meeting different people around the world and seeing how different cities and different communities would resonate with a particular artist's work. And so that is where my love of art fairs sort of developed, and I just love the buzz of an art fair. But chatting to so many people in one day.
Because the affordable art fair where you are now, when did you get?
We launched in Melbourne in 2019.
Okay.
So, and then COVID happened and then we got back on the track. But 2019 was beautiful. So Royal Exhibition Building. I think I've never worked so hard in my life. I was also pregnant with my first child, but I had like 2 projects to deliver. And it was great. And then, 6 years. Yeah, my daughter's 6, so that helps me kind of count it. And then we launched in Sydney and now we're in Brisbane.
Because you're right, the buzz is intense.
Yeah.
How many people go through?
So in Sydney and Melbourne we have about 18,000 people through, and then Brisbane nearly 15. So yeah, it's a lot of eyes in front of art.
What I love most about it is it makes buying art or even just going to look at art feel less intimidating. Yeah. And that's what struck me. The first time I went, I felt like I could go around and look at whatever I wanted and no one was going to look down on me or judge me or think, why are you here? You can't afford this.
I think our goal is to have it feel really welcoming, and our galleries and our artists, they're a huge part in that. Like they're very chatty and they're not in their studios and they're not in their galleries. We have a lot of regional gallerists kind of coming in, and it's this platform where for 4 days you can sort of show your best work and receive feedback and chat to people and talk to people about art. I think it's like we talk a lot about sport, we talk a lot about other things, but to have 4 days of culture where artists are celebrating, and a lot of the artists say like this is our art party for the year, you know, or for the city, because now a lot of our artists and galleries will travel.
Definitely.
But to celebrate art, like from 9 till 9 every day.
And you're right about the cities. What I notice is people get dressed up to go to these fairs, and each city has its own look and style.
I know. I find Brisbane particularly hard because I'm like, oh, what do I wear in Brisbane? But now I know because our Brisbane audience get really dressed up.
They do.
And there's this real sense of occasion and it's really lovely, and there's bright colours, but like everyone in Brisbane looks beautiful. Like it is a gorgeous, gorgeous fair. And then Melbourne is different altogether.
Yeah.
You know, there's
also
layering.
beautiful.
Oh,
we love you, Melbourne.
Yes, we love. I love Melbourne. I love it. I can wear my coats all week long, and then I think the rest of the team like, how do you have so many coats? I'm like, I live in Melbourne. But I think it's more layering and. You know, the opening night, you kind of go out for dinner on Gertrude Street after, and it's that sort of fun night out, but it's wintry and it's cold. Yeah. And the artwork's always slightly it's a bit moodier. It's got a different feel to it. And then Sydney we moved last year to Carriage Works, and gosh, that was fun. I mean, we had the markets at Carriage Works on the weekend, the farmers markets, and I think, you know, you had people in the activewear, but you had people dressed to the nines, and it was just and it was a
fabulous,
hot, very warm, warm fair.
When it comes to the home, there are so many decisions to be made every day. Here at The Edit, we want to make those choices that little bit easier, sharing advice from our guests and experts like Kaboodle Kitchen, who I'm happy to say have helped me find solutions for our listener dilemma this episode. Today, we have a DM from Jane from Narrabeen. She says, I'm renovating my kitchen and love the look of timber cupboards, but I have no idea what will work in my home. I want a modern, classic look with marble-style porcelain worktops and polished nickel handles and taps. Where do I even start with the cupboards? Jane, you are not alone in this overwhelm. I love that you have your bench tops and hardware sorted. You can use these choices to guide which timber looks you choose. And when it comes to timber, the best thing to do is think in terms of colours. Have you ever noticed how some timbers look cool and others look warm? Well, from that point, you'll start to notice each timber has its own colour undertone. Now, it could be red, blue, yellow, black, white, grey. So think about what colours you love to decorate with elsewhere in your home. If you prefer cool blues, go for something with a grey or silvered finish. If you like a sunnier colour palette, try a honeyed or classic oak. It can be difficult to imagine what a finish will look like, so I always recommend people get swatches. Not just so they can see the colour in real life, but so they can see how it will look in the space they're renovating. A really good place to start is kitchen retailers like Kaboodle Kitchen. So you can jump online and browse the finishes and then order swatches, which can be delivered to your home. Or head into your local Bunnings, because there they'll have swatches in the Kaboodle Kitchen section. Now, when you get home, leave the swatches in the room you're renovating and see what they look like at different lights and different times of day. It is actually amazing how a colour can completely change when it's in situ. Now, also, place the swatches next to your other materials, the bench top and the hardware, and just play around, see which combinations you like best. Speaking of which, one of my favourite looks with white marble and polished nickel is darker timber cabinetry. So my choice is the Kaboodle swatch in truffle oak for that real Nancy Myers feel. I love the dark contrast. But if you prefer a lighter look, Hazelnut V is a gorgeous, cool neutral tone that would look amazing with your palette. Then again, pretty much any oak will also work. So there's Cajun oak, oak latte. Look, I could go on, but the best thing to do is to just swatch and play. Explore kitchen and laundry inspiration at kaboodle.com.au. What can people expect if they've never been to an art fair before to show up to the Affordable Art Fair? Do you pay to get in? Do you have a set time limit? Can you spend the whole day?
I think people say, oh, what is an art fair? It's like an art fair, we build white walls.
Yep.
The galleries can paint them a colour if they like to sort of personalise their space, but each gallery will have their own booth.
Yep.
We encourage them to make that booth their own.
Yeah.
And so create a mood, create a feeling, show artwork that you're proud of that's sort of distinctly you. As a visitor, you can buy a ticket to come in. We're there for 4 days. You might buy a 4-day pass, or a one-day pass. But I think if you come back and you're wanting to come back and buy something, we'll always let you back in.
That's good to know. I
think it's
that.
like we're sort of, if you've shown that you're interested, and then the galleries will say, well, come back and see me the next day, because some people are able to make that immediate decision. I know I want it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it now. Then other people will say, I just need to sleep on it.
Yeah.
And often if you've woken up after sleeping on it and you're still thinking about it, you're running back that next morning before someone else gets it.
Definitely. So, let's get into that a little bit more. How do you encourage people or advise people to buy art?
I say just go with your gut.
Yeah.
So you're not buying artwork for me, you're buying artwork for yourself, and you have to connect with it. And people... Obviously, I'm asked this a lot, what should I buy? I'm like, I can't tell you what to buy.
Yeah.
I'll say, can you show me what you like? Do you have photos on your phone? Or sometimes I'll just say I did this with my sister last year, please just walk around with your phone, take photos of everything that you love and come back to me. Yeah. And then I found it really interesting. I'm like, wow, you can really see your style. Oh, do I have a style? You absolutely have a style, because by just seeing through someone else's eyes what they're attracted to, it becomes quite clear. And my sister's taste is quite quirky. She lots of things of animals, but she loves ceramics. And so then we had a nice walk around, and kind of she could meet the artists or become confident chatting to people about the work and knowing what questions to ask, which might be, can you tell me about the work?
Yeah.
You can just ask with that, and then it's just a conversation starter, and then the gallerist or the artist will start opening up and telling you more, and then often there's just something in there that hooks you in, and you're like, oh, that got me there. And now I feel like I know a bit more about it.
Yeah.
Because if you've got something in your home and someone says, oh, where did you get that? There's often a story, and it's nice to sort of know a little bit about the work that you bought. I
agree. Sometimes when I've been with you at the fair, people will come and ask questions and show you a photo of a room and say, I've got this wall and I need to buy an artwork for this wall. How do we navigate that?
Yeah. And it happens, you've seen it happen. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, there's obviously scale. You need the wall to have, the artwork to have enough presence.
Yes.
And there's wall power. You can have a small work that has big wall power.
Yeah.
You can have a big work that's perhaps a bit flat and not singing.
Yeah.
So a lot of our galleries are really good at just advising that. So I say, show them a photo. They might say to you, I think you need slightly bigger, or let me see what else I've got in my stock room, or maybe a commission if it's a particular space that you're looking that feels so exact to you. But then often I just say, just go around and find things that you love, and you will find that piece for that couch. Don't rush into buying something just for the sake of it, because you will find that piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a big jigsaw. You'll find the corners eventually for the jigsaw.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of corners, back to framing, I love that you can buy the artwork you love.
Yes.
But then the framing is what can make it work in a space.
Yeah, I think people can be a bit scared about framing, and I think it's so fun. I think if you find the right framer and or even if you just have an example of something and you sort of take it in, but you can house a work quite differently. I always frame for the artwork itself, because I feel like they're like my friends. I want to frame them in the right look.
Yeah.
I don't want to frame them for my house in a way, and then eventually they find their grouping. Yeah. And I don't mind mismatched frames. I like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
But you can change the scale.
You can make
change
something
the shape.
bigger. Yeah, I love float. I love works on paper. I have a lot of sort of lino cuts, and I love float mounting them so that they're sitting a bit further from the mount board, then giving it a nice border, playing around with perhaps the colour of the mount board, and then having a simple frame with a fillet at the side so it gives a bit of a depth so it doesn't look like a poster.
I like that.
Yeah, so that can do wonders for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make the artwork feel more special.
How much do you think people should spend on art?
Oh, how much have you got? What they're comfortable with. Yeah. I think you can buy some really beautiful art and it doesn't need to break the bank. I think you can start small. Once you sort of start, you get the bug, and you gradually, that number that you're comfortable with seems to grow, or you can sort of, I'm on a current mission to buy bigger work, and so my husband and I maybe less, most fairs I'll come home with something small in my suitcase, and this time it's like, so this year I'm like, I'd like to buy just something big at the end of the year.
Yes.
But in terms of what people spend, I think no one ever regrets buying an artwork.
No,
I certainly haven't. So I think you live with it every day.
Yeah.
Cost per wear.
Cost per
eyeball
sight.
view.
I love cost per eyeball.
Cost per eyeball. That sounds a bit freaky.
Because you can pick them up for, was it from $100?
From $100.
For original
Yeah,
works.
and I think that's the thing, like the works are all original. They're all by the hand of an artist. The money's sort of like, it's not a poster, it's not mass produced.
Yeah.
If it's a print, it's an edition size that's reasonable and unique.
Yes.
So I think, and you're supporting a living artist. So all of our artists at the fair are living, which seems like a funny thing to say, but it's like they're the ones that need the money.
And historically, some artists have only become popular after they've died.
Exactly. So no, we have artists at our fair who are living and very popular.
Good to know.
And gaining popularity as well as
Yeah.
they show across 3 different cities and they build up their
Yeah.
sort of their body of work, and perhaps they can sustain themselves by showing at 3 and then moving into becoming full-time artists and then sort of selling their works, but then producing works quietly in the studio in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should an artist do if they want to become part of the fair?
Oh, just send us an email. We get them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a beautiful gallery relations manager, Jo.
Yeah.
And so she's on the other end of the email, and then we have lots of chats and emails. We have sort of hanging guides and ideas on how to apply for the fair, and it's quite real.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a small team.
I know how that feels.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to go to your place.
Oh, gosh, would you? Yes.
Yeah. And
No, you'd be welcome to.
you have said that your house, which you own,
We do, yeah.
is not your style at all.
It will be one day.
So what style is it? Why did you buy it?
Well, for what it will be, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I love it and I love the inside of it. When we bought it, it's sort of the cream brick house on a street of Victorian houses. So our house has been given a very special treatment. So I think, like, the next door neighbour, there are a few people in our street sort of restoring their homes to former glory, but ours was particularly embellished with cream brick, Corinthian columns, really thick terrazzo. We've gradually done the garden on like ourselves, and I've added in like a winding sort of slate, well, bluestone kind of replica bluestone path, which is curved. But when we bought it, it was like a straight path lined with gladiola, and
of an era.
and like a really thick. Like when we went to pull the fence out, it was like really very deep. He was a boilermaker. Like a beautiful, beautiful Greek family, and it was a family home in the family for years. Our side fence was made of railway sleepers with sort of fence that was almost driftwood by the time that we got it.
Oh my gosh!
So there was a lot of love put into our house, but say all of the ceilings were lowered and put with sort of decorative, geometric ceiling plasters and a lot of amber glass. Everything's a little bit wonky. But it's a beautiful street and beautiful neighbours, and we have a really beautiful garden with pomegranates and lemons and figs. So I love for the home that it has been, and it has a really good feeling.
Yeah.
It's just like I have this dream of restoring it to perhaps match the other houses in the street.
So was it originally Victorian?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Do you
So
know
it's
what
got the
lies
shapes.
beneath?
Not a lot. Yeah, so I think we bought the house, and then I had our first daughter that week. And it had the thickest carpet, like brown and yellow, dark brown and yellow swirls. And we got the keys, we dropped the keys, we could not find them for ages because the carpet was just so thick and the pattern was so dense. I was like, where are they? And the whole house was in this carpet. So, and then the drapes were really thick. And anyway, we found the keys, and then we pulled up the carpet. And I think we thought it was going to be like the most beautiful flooring underneath.
Yeah.
Probably isn't the most beautiful flooring underneath. So we sort of sanded it all back, and the original ceilings aren't there. But you know what? We still love it. It's just a bit wonky. And I'm always thinking about what we're going to do. We have done what we can do. You know, I've painted all the walls. We've pulled all the wallpaper off. We added in a dishwasher.
You are living a dream.
The kitchen was actually, like, our kitchen was more of a show kitchen.
Yeah.
And then she had a separate laundry at the back with a cast iron, you know, the green old kind of cast iron.
Gorgeous.
But then we realised, like, the exhaust of it went straight into the wall.
No,
so like, it was just
good.
a bit. It's, but we've made it ours for now. But we sort of lots of chats about what it will be.
How does art figure in your home?
Art does all the hard work. Yeah. So I think people come over and they're like, oh, this makes sense. I thought it would, like, this is you. Oh. And because, like I said, like, art, they are all my old friends. You know, they're all, like, I've travelled and brought them with me, and they all have a special sort of story to them. So I feel good being around them. But I think the artwork possibly makes sense to people that know me. It's like a little bit quirky. Yeah. And the colour palette is me. I think I'm in all white today, but that's just because I'm not with my children. So this feels like a bit of a power move to, like, not be wearing pastel colour. Normally I'm in colour, but I thought I'd just keep it clean today. But yeah, I think the artworks has a similar sort of pastel kind of colour palette.
Well, I feel like this is a good point to find out about your mystery drawer item.
Okay.
So, what have you brought in today? It's something from your home.
It's a bit of a ruffle. I mean, there's going to be the great unveiling. But I think it's not from my drawer, but it moves around all the time.
Okay.
Purchased it from our art fair last year.
And for anyone who's listening and can't see, we have the bubble wrap going, and that's what you can hear.
We've got bubble wrap because we love wrapping artworks at our fair.
Yep.
And then I've got the tissue paper because it's actually oil. It's got a bit of oil pastel. This is by an artwork. It's called Fun Sun. And it just made me feel really happy.
That is gorgeous.
And I bought it from Claudio Chirac, who was an artist in action at our last year's fair.
Yeah.
I did not go to that fair planning to buy a wooden cutout of a sun. And I was just chatting to him, and there you go. And I was chatting to him, and I was having the best conversation. I looked up and I saw it on the wall, and I just said, could I please have that one? And it was, $200.
Oh.
And I thought, I'll just put it in one of the kids' rooms. It hasn't made it to the kids' room yet because I've, like, had it in the kitchen. I've had it. It just kind of goes anywhere.
It is so happy.
Well, it's just a reminder, like, the sun shines every day. Like, tomorrow's a new day. Smile. I think instead of a clock in our kitchen, we just have a sun.
How would you describe this?
I would say it's a very happy work. So it's like it's a cut out wooden. It's not a sun with jagged edges. It's like a wavy piece of wood that he's painted a sun on with big oil pastel smile, and he works quite rapidly and fast, and it just has that expression of pure joy, and it's not taking itself too seriously.
No. And not that you should touch art. I mean, I don't know if you can.
I mean, this has come with me
really
from
tactile.
Sydney, Melbourne, and I've brought it back. So it's trail, and he's come from Queensland. So, but I think it's a marker in time for me. It was like, I remember that great chat that we had, and it just made me feel happy. It was a bit of and I think the next work I'd like to buy was be, a traditional oil painting. So there's no
exactly.
It was just
no rhyme or reason. It's just because you love it.
Yeah, a marker of time.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Thank
Here, let's
you.
wrap this guy up. We can
put him back in the bag.
Put him away.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got lots of different items in drawers, but I think artwork kind of moving around and finding new homes is probably was the story.
Well, let's go back to your place.
Okay.
I want to ask some questions around your house rules. So we'll get to know you a little bit better here.
Okay,
so answer as best you can.
Yeah.
Shoes on or off?
We are a shoes on house, but I would love to be a shoes off house. Like, I think I grew up with shoes on and I didn't know that there was an option. And now I'm like, I'd love to be one of those houses. It seems way cleaner. But I've got 2 Labradors, and so my house, I'm vacuuming a lot anyway.
Yeah.
And our floor leaves a bit to be desired. So I think footwear is good in our house.
How about being in Melbourne? It can get quite cool. Blankets or doonas? Do you call it a doona or a duvet or a quilt?
I think I used to call it a duvet, but now we're back in Australia, we call it a doona. But I have it all. Like I have, doona, blankets. I'm always freezing, and I've actually just invested in an electric blanket, which makes me seem very old. But it's been life-changing. But yeah, no, look, blankets everywhere. I love blankets. My mum crochets like these amazing little tiny squares, and the girls all have these blankets on the end of their bed, and she quilts. So we've got Liberty quilts on the girls' beds.
Beautiful.
But I love just layers and warmth, and our house is freezing. So
are you a candle house?
Yes. Do you know my husband's very into candles?
Is he?
Like he's a bit of a pyro, he loves like so
Why is he into candles?
I don't know, I'm like, that's a good candle. Can you just doesn't need to go all day. But when we met, the first gift he gave me was this beautiful Earl of East London candle. So we were sort of like living there, and I think that brand had just sort of started out, and they're like these brown glass jars, and I love a woody scent.
Do you like them for special occasions or when people come over?
I think no, more for us. Or when if the house feels like it just needs a bit of open the windows, kind of put the candle on, like a reset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often do you reset your home?
Oh, look, I've got 3 kids, so non-stop. But Look, I'm not excelling at it, but I'm trying hard.
Are you a tidy person or are you piles of stuff everywhere?
I'm a piles girl.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't, but I can't pretend I'm not. No, I just collect too many things, and I'm always, trying and condensing, but it's
never ending.
It's not my vibe.
Tell me something in your home that is always fresh.
Flowers.
Oh, what do you choose?
I will go to the garden first.
Yep.
So often it might be fresh mint. That's kind of like if I've got that sort of grows like wildfire, and it sort of smells good. Yeah. Just kind of what I can find in there. Over summer I grow dahlias.
Have you always been a gardener?
I've always loved flowers. It's always been probably what I was collecting postcards of, and we talk about a lot. But since sort of inheriting this beautiful garden, I've felt this sort of like this yearning to look after it. Yeah. And our kids spend a lot of time in the garden, and we've recently got monkey bars. So, I mean, we're sort of out there a lot. Yeah. And we have this pomegranate tree, and that there are just special times throughout the year where the girls are out there kind of opening up the pomegranates, and the birds are out there, and we're very lucky.
With that scene in mind, what does your home sound like?
Oh, quite noisy. I think our neighbours said, we always know when you're home. And I think it's we've got 3 little girls, and they are chatting away, and often the sound is like the pram, their toy pram going up and down in the, that sort of full of
click.
Yes, full of bunnies, or help me, I'm stuck on the monkey bars, or so children, I would say.
How old are they?
They are 6, 4, and 1. Well, 2 next week.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Do they have any artistic traits coming through?
I think so. They all love sort of drawing. There's always making happening, and I think I'm just trying to allow the magic to happen and not worry about the mess for now, because there will be times where my coffee table books can be where I left them. There is that creativity, and I think I took my middle daughter Emmy to the dentist yesterday, and she gave the dentist, he turned up and she said, here's some lavender for you. And I hadn't even known that she'd picked it, but I thought, oh, wow, she knows even the names of the flowers. So I think that's sort of part of perhaps what they've been exposed to.
And so hospitable.
Yeah. Normally we're scared of the dentist, but it was good. Yeah.
After the break, Georgia shares how to solve the greatest art crime she sees in Australian homes. to art, is there an art crime that you see in Australian homes that you wish people wouldn't do?
I don't think it's like an Australian thing. I think sometimes, like, I'm just aware of how people hanging works.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, oh, well, that's really low or that's extremely high. And then sometimes I will hang things slightly higher because I'm quite tall.
Yeah.
So like in a gallery, you might hang things with a midpoint of 150 centimetres or 155.
And why
I
is
like
that
hanging
the
at
midpoint?
160 because my eyes are a bit taller.
So it's
like,
height.
yeah, kind of like where you're going to be looking at enjoying the artwork, where it's like at your mid level.
Okay, so you want around your eye height to be going to the centre of the artwork?
Pretty much. So
Okay.
you it's sort of at an easy viewing height for you. You can obviously play around with things and create drama and moments, and that's sort of like a midpoint of one work. You can go up from there and down from there. I had an art installer I was working with who came back with this incredible story that he'd just installed artwork in a gentleman's home who was in a wheelchair, and he hung all of his works at a height that he could view from his chair. And I just thought, like, that is his home.
Yes.
That's how it should be. So I love that. So like, you're hanging for you, but sometimes I see some wild things.
Why so high?
And I'm like, it's like just a little bit up or down. But that's okay. But I'm not judging, like I just think bit of, or like, sometimes you'll think that, you hang everything with the bottom line the same, or like I like to hang things with the midpoint the same.
That is such good advice because a lot of us don't know, and you do see artworks that are hung exactly that way. Either the bottom line is all level or the top.
Yeah, and I can see why, like that, it does make sense. But I think to me it makes sense more just to have them, in the middle.
Have you ever witnessed or experienced any exchanges with couples where you've had to step in or step away?
Yeah, definitely. Where I think I'm just going to leave it to you. Like, I'm not pushing anyone into buying an artwork.
No way.
And sometimes one person will really want that work. And no, actually, a friend of mine in Brisbane, they're a couple. Yeah. They were coming. It was their first art buying experience, and like he has such a distinct style. And then I'd only just met her, and I was thinking, gosh, he's got a specific style. Anyway, I came back. He'd bought the work, and she was thinking, well, I'm just going to go buy one too. They both just went and bought separate works. They'll find places in the homes, but I think it was just this, well, if you're going to buy one, I think I'll buy one. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
How do you back away or excuse yourself if an exchange is getting a little heated?
Just gently. I think, I don't need to be part of that.
No.
I think on the whole, it's normally just such an exciting time, and people will say like, oh, how do I, I've had how do I do it? Well, just go, you can go up and ask them if it's available, can I buy it? And they'll be thrilled. Oh. But it is that, sometimes you've committed in your mind, that you want that artwork, but what's the next step? Well, the next step is
so true.
To just go and chat to the artist or the gallery owner and say, is that available? I'd actually like to buy it. And they'll just say, sure. It's not hard, but it's just almost voicing out loud that you're ready, or asking the gallerist, I'm thinking about buying it, and then they'll probably guide you through the process or talk to you about the artist or the technique, and you might say, oh, wow, I loved that artwork without even knowing all of the backstory and how it was made, and I didn't know the depth to the storytelling, and then you're definitely buying it then.
Are prices always displayed?
Yes. So every price is on a label with the medium and the artist's name, and so you can feel comfortable that it is in your price range, or that you might take a photo and think about it, or think about that it might be something that you'll buy in the future. Yeah. But it can be about just getting your eye in and figuring out what prices original artwork sells at, because the art needs to take into account that the artist has spent their time making it. Yeah. They've got the materials, they've got years of training, and so it is a great thing being able to see the prices, because sometimes you think, oh, I'm always attracted to the works that are that price. But then you find a
Yes.
work and you think, actually, I know that's a really good price because I've been looking at all these other ones and this might sit really well in my budget.
Yep.
So it's just about the discovery.
What do you do if you see a work that you love but it's sold?
You just chat to that gallery and you say, could you please let me know when the artist produces a new body of work, or do you have something else by that artist? And you start that dialogue, because often artists will work in series and they might have another work that is similar or might be prepared to create a new work or a commissioned piece. But I think it's just about creating a conversation or and expressing interest. And it's nice to let artists and galleries know that you love something, because they then know that they're on the right path.
Georgia, there's a question you normally ask me, and I'm going to turn the table and ask you, what makes a home beautiful?
I'm going to say my children right now, but also I'm going to say that my children are what makes my home not so beautiful as well. Yeah. So I think it's like the laughter and having the family, and like that's what I've wanted in a home, and I've wanted this magical space that our children feel like is home and it's their home. Yeah. But then at the same time, for me, it's the art. So I just am surrounded by artwork that I love, and it perhaps might not be meaningful for anyone else but our family. Like there's stories and there's special pieces, and we can talk about where each of them has come from along the way, which year. And so I think it is the art that does the heavy lifting in our house. So I think that's what people look up to. You know, the hallways just has so much art in it that it's exciting to walk down the hall.
I can't think of a better answer to that question from you. It's your daughters make the home beautiful. Yeah. Also not.
Yes, they make it a little bit messy, but so
the
do
art.
I. Yeah.
The art is everything.
Yeah.
Georgia, today has been a great conversation.
Oh, thank you. I've had such fun.
I've loved chatting with you, and I can't wait to do it again. When are we? Is it November? We're together at the
week
Sydney
of November.
Affordable Art Fair.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
See you there.
Thanks, Elle.
My chats with Georgia over the years have really helped me feel less intimidated about buying art, and I hope after today's episode you feel the same way too. If you can get to an affordable art fair and you don't have to buy anything, they're a really great way to get inspiration and a hit of culture in a really accessible way. Thanks for listening to The Edit. If you enjoyed this one, check out my chat with Claudia Lambert, an interior designer who has great advice on how to make art the star of your home. We'll put a link to that in the show notes. We have many more episodes coming up, so be sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you watch and listen. I'm Elle Lovelock. We'll see you next time. This episode is brought to you in partnership with the brand I truly love and live with, Kaboodle Kitchen.
This is an R Media podcast.